Hello, Cedi. Hello, everyone. I'm Samuel. Today, I want to share with you a funny and short history that I have known since I was a child when I was studying Spanish second grade. That history is entitled Juan Sin Miedo, or in English, the history of the youth who went forth to learn fear. The history begins like this. Many years ago, in a very distant kingdom, there was a king named George the Great. This king was worried that his daughter Esmeralda did not want to marry. The king did not think that if he did not have grandchildren, to whom would he inherit the kingdom from him? The problem that caused the Princess Esmeralda not to want to marry. She was looking for a brave man, the bravest in the kingdom. The princess then said to her father, I will only marry the one who brings me the treasure of the enchanted castle. Hmm. What the princess told her father, it must have been a very difficult requirement to fulfill. Because after the king heard the request of her daughter, he was terrified and told her that it is impossible because the castle housed of horrible ghosts and very powerful witches, so no one dared to go into the castle. This did nothing but anguish the king, who, in his despair, urgently organized a meeting with all his advisors to seek a solution. In the end, they made the decision to summon all the nobles of the kingdom and the other kingdoms also to communicate that whoever wants to marry the Princess Esmeralda will have to be able to go to the enchanted castle and bring a treasure from there. Hearing the message, the young people were enthusiastic but scared to death because too dangerous. They thought nobody wanted to take such great risk. And so many days and months passed until one morning a young king, short in stature and weak in appearance, asked to speak to the king. The young man, whose name Juan, said, Your Majesty, from him I have listened to the town crier. I know you are looking for the bravest man in the kingdom, a man who dares to enter the enchanted castle, replied the king. That's right. Do you know such a strong and brave man? And Juan said again, Your Majesty, if you give me your consent, I will be to the one to the bring the deserts. But the king only scoffed and said, What a joke! You are too dreamer. You have neither the strength nor the hate to face the dangers of the castle. The young man said again firmly, Your Majesty, they call me Juan without fear, because I'm not afraid of anything. The king couldn't believe him, but finally he gave his consent, and so Juan, without fear, went to the enchanted castle, where no one in the kingdom dared to enter. Once inside the castle, everything was dark. Juan couldn't see anything. Groping and stumbling, he walked down to the corridor until suddenly he saw a ghost in front of him. Juan greeted him very enthusiastically without feeling any fear. The ghost flew off to the dining room, and Juan followed him. Here, Juan suddenly he turned and saw a very long chain coming down the stairs. They looked like an angry snake. Juan continued walking, and when he reached the dining room, he found purple witches with red hands, lips, and hair. There was also ghosts with long, pointed ears who laughed out loud. The biggest ghost yelled at him. Come on, Juan, let's see if you dare to have dinner with us. Juan, who felt a great appetite, gladly accepted. He sat at the table and savored the delicious dishes the witches had prepared. Tadpoles and prickly snakes. Juan had dinner and very satisfied, thanked them and went to sleep. While Juan slept, he felt his bed rise. He noticed that he was flying all over the rooms. What fun! There is nothing reason to fear, Juan thought. Finally, the bed returned to the floor and Juan fell asleep. The next day, when Juan woke up, witches and ghosts surrounded his bed and they told him, "You are the first to treat us without fear and with kindness. That is why we want to give you the treasure of the enchanted castle." The witches gave Juan a sack of gold coins and he was very happy. Then he gave each witch. Then, with the sack on his back, he left for the king's palace. When he arrived in, the inhabitants of the palace applauded. The king George and his daughter, the princess Esmeralda, came out to meet Juan. He told them about his adventures in the castle. Everyone admired the Juan's courage and understood to face dangers. It is important to not be guided by the appearance or to allow all tales of the overcome by fear. On the reading day, Juan and the princess were very happy and distributed the gold coins in the inhabitants of the kingdom. And that is the end of the history. And so the history ends amazingly happy ending. An apology for the image quality. My camera's battery ran out, and I had to record with the computer.